$30,000 and you owe $2,500, you don't go back the next month to Louis Vuitton for another on the go, because now when you do, so I don't understand this. We have a little bit of a debt and now we're still going to keep going. The minute it's $1, you fucking stop. That is my life advice for everyone, because the angst, can you imagine how is this fun anymore? How is this fun when you're just spending, and for what? Because inside you are not happy and you think these shiny objects are going to make you, it really is. I agree with Bethany, is that yes, it's not like, oh, it's easy for girlfriend to say because she has $25 million in the bank or whatever. She always stood by me. She had no problem living in the little, parquet floor apartment in the little thing, hawking the cookies and shit at the supermarket. And so I am the same way. I will say it again. If something turned in my life, I would get rid of all of this and I would live in a one-room studio apartment somewhere, and I would be just fine. I would pick myself up on my fucking bootstraps and I would be the same person. So I don't understand it. I don't understand this.
I live way below my means too. And it sucks at times because you do, there are things that you want, material things, but it's like, I mean, I don't want debt I can't pay, and I want to buy assets that appreciate. And, some handbags do, but a lot of them don't. Kim's even selling now a lot of her stuff. Chanel's, I mean, those increase in value, but she's offloading a lot of stuff. I think for somebody like Kim, that's a shopaholic though, it's like any addiction. It's like a food addiction, an alcohol addiction. I don't even know that it registers. Like, has she hit the rock bottom? Because a lot of people say she hasn't. She's leaving Croy strictly out of money. It wasn't because they'd fallen out of love.
You think? I mean, but yeah, it looks like that. Sure. I mean, they're right. They say there's no extramarital. I do this. I believe. Listen, first of all, my first thought was like, this divorce is a sham. That this is a same thing back to Erica and Tom when that started. I had the same initial reactions of like, this is a play. Look, you don't get out of taxes. That's you can declare bankruptcy in a court of law and we pay off our creditors, based on the attachment, but you don't get out of taxes. So, but I was like, there's more to this, and God only knows what else they owe. And they're in love. And which you don't have to, you can get divorced and then do that. And then still, you don't have to really hide that. It's not like Tom, like, criminal stuff. But I was like, I don't believe it. But now I believe. I mean, I also talked to my good friend Carlos King, who's like, oh, girl, word on the street is this is real. And I think it's gotten ugly now to the extent that I believe this is real. But I didn't. I really thought this was a play. And a lot of people online are thinking the same thing. But I think it's real. But right, they're saying there was no extramarital affairs. There was no this. There was no that. Yeah, I think it's you have money problems. It leads to a lot of drama, right?
Oh, hell yeah. Because again, you're not talking like, okay, shit, we got $100,000 in debt, which a lot of people come to marriages with because of school and, other things. Maybe you were bad with credit cards when you were young, but I mean, that's like manageable. I mean, there's so much here. I mean, I'm fascinated because, Brielle, Ariana, the girls, I mean, Kim, they've been hawking lip liners, their swimsuit, that salty, whatever, swimsuit line. That stuff, what people don't realize, and this because you're in business, to launch those things and keep them successful it's so much money. It's so much money. Like you don't even realize how much money it is to create your own line of, you have to have backers and finances. And they made it look like things were great. I guarantee they invested so much money in those. And were they ever money makers, or have they been losing money this entire time? I think I'd read years ago, Croy came to the marriage with $7 or $8 million from his NFL days.
From the $20 million.
Did he have 20 million? Was that what he had?
I don't know. I thought like he got a payout or was making $20 million or all right. So
I bet it was. I don't think he hasn't played in the NFL in a long time.
So like $8 million, you know what? I mean, everyone says things like that. That's not, when you say you
You
want,
think it's a lot of money, but
no,
it's
no,
not.
no,
It's
no,
not.
no,
I
it's
mean,
not.
if you even just put 8 million in the stock market, which doesn't even always return you 10%, but it's usually historically a 7-8% return, right? So you're making under $800,000 a year. You could live high, you could live really high, but you couldn't live the way that they have lived. I mean, it's not that much money. And I mean, they were burning through money. I don't know. This whole situation is it's very sad to me. There's so many players in it. Chef Tracy, the
What's
woman
she
that,
up to?
right? I mean, the woman that worked for them for a long time when they had the show. I don't think she works for them anymore. Whatever happened to Sweetie, the original assistant? These are the people that know where the bodies are buried. I mean, I want to hear from them. I mean, I don't know. And 6 kids is a lot to support. A lot to support.
It's a lot to support. It's like, look, I mean, and you also hear things of like,
What?
the one thing I heard, which this disappointed me, like, look, it's almost a little bit, I guess two things could be true, as I like to say, but it's almost like you have the narrative of like they spend together or she spends, and here we are, and maybe it's an addiction. But then did you see that there's now this rumor out there that like she is with some other guy that has a ton of money and he's older. So
Does
to
that
me,
shock you? Would that shock you?
it doesn't shock me. It
Oh,
doesn't, but
no.
it just it like, look, to me, it is a little bit of a different narrative. Like scenario A is like, I was in love with Croy. It was all valid and it was all legitimate. And like these money problems are so egregious that yes, we are fighting like cats and dogs over this. That's A. B, one is not better than the other. B to me is like, I was with Croy and I was in love. I'm not taking that away, but I am Erica Jane. The difference is Erica admits this, and I too will only be with someone for money. And I did love Croy, and all of that is valid. But yeah, I'm out here because I found another rich guy. It's a little bit of a different narrative for me. It's kind of the same thing, but I don't know. Scenario 2 spins different for me if it's like, yeah, it's the same result. It's the same result. You have money problems, but it's like, really, like you went out and found another rich guy, like then like is that, oh, it's
That's
just
her thing.
it
She's the
reeks to me. I
ultimate
don't
sugar
know.
baby. She's just the ultimate sugar baby. I mean, again, that's a huge rumor that's out there. I don't know that that's true. And I think that's why they came out and denied this week that there was an open marriage. There isn't anybody else. Um, I don't know if I believe that, but do I believe she'll end up with somebody rich again? 110%. I think. I mean,
I feel about her. Well, I mean, I don't. I feel we already established recently, guys, that that the title of that YouTube video, Sarah, was "Have We Become Erica Jane Apologists?" So
oh, I
just
love
so
that.
you don't. But
That's good.
like, there's something about like Catherine Edwards is always like saying, "Who would want Erica?" Her story. She wants the money. Like if
Yeah, but
you're
she
like,
seems less thirsty. She seems
yes,
less thirsty of
yes,
a gold
that's
digger.
I agree with you. I
Yeah,
agree.
20 years. And I mean, look, I don't know Erica aside from the 5 minutes we met her, but I believe